What's up, guys? Welcome back again. Firstly, just want to say thank you so much to everybody that reached out and showed a little bit of excitement for the things that's to come over the next few months. I want to take a couple minutes today just to kind of discuss something that's very regularly in conversation amongst a lot of people in the industry. Let's talk a little bit about EDC. A lot of people already know what that abbreviation is. Your EDC is going to consist of your everyday carry. Your everyday carry is something that you feel you're going to get needed during the day. Maybe it's your personal life setup based off your working environment, or someone like myself that relies on having the equipment needed for the day. Everything that I can set apart that I feel like I might need or my clients might get in need during the day. So let's talk a little bit about it. A minimal setup like this won't set you back much. Having a basic chest rig setup that'll have everything that you need pretty much during the day. Within this bag, I can carry everything pretty much from spare magazine to medical equipment, communications, wiring, everything that I'll need during the day or that I feel my clients might need during the day. Having a chest rig setup on a minimalist kind of base really will set it apart, having to carry around a lot of kit and bags and all those kind of things. With this chest molle kit, you'll see it's got two clips here which will finally attach to my chest. It makes it a lot easier being in and out of vehicles. It makes my daily movements a lot easier. Everything that I need or that I feel I'm going to need is within this magic bag right here. So what does my EDC consist of? What am I carrying? What am I going to look at preparing for my day based off my movements? Firstly, one of the most amazing things that I find about these bags is that you can actually squeeze in a day's worth of working equipment within a small chest rig setup like this. Within this bag, I've got basic medical setups. As you can see, I've got my tourniquet setup in the front with a basic Velcro setup, meaning I've got fast access to it when I need it, be it for me or be it for a colleague, inside a vehicle, outside a vehicle. Everything needs to be in place and organized, knowing all your equipment is. Majority of situations, I found that a lot of people have equipment on hand, but never carry a lot of the stuff with them. In previous experience, I find that rather having it than needing it is a lot better. It's going to help you solve a lot more problems a lot faster. If you are in a situation where you feel like you need to maintain a lot of responsibility, be it on a medical sense, be it on just a daily movement sense, everything that I need is going to be right inside here. Let's have a look a little bit on the inside. So from a different perspective, this is what I see when I look down into my EDC. When it's strapped to my chest and I'm moving with this bag constantly during the day, this is what I'm looking at. Having a basic setup, I know exactly this. Majority of the time, you'll find on spare magazine, if you have a great holster setup like Southwest Holsters offers, it creates a great molle system based off carrying a spare magazine and a current magazine within my firearm. You can see I've got a little bit of spare ammunition right next to my firearm. Never know when that's going to get in handy, but I'd rather not get caught in a situation where I don't have that at hand. Secondary, what we got basic medical stuff. I've got space blankets, I've got gloves, always on hand. One of the best things that I ever learned working on medical scenes is it's not just you on the scene that's going to need gloves. You might need an extra set of hands. Handing out gloves is going to be a thing. Even though people might have basic medical response, those people can help you a lot in a situation where you feel like you need to start handing out gloves for extra hands. Majority of the time you'll have your hands full. I've got a basic chest seal setup with a space blanket. Within this bag for my space blanket, I've got an extra set of gloves. I've got a couple alcohol swabs. I've got some gauze. Gauze setup is going to be one of the biggest things as well, but we'll get to that in a later stage. But basic setup, I've got a power bank setup, a reliable flashlight. I've got a charger setup here. I've got a couple different cable options for my clients because majority of the time I find that your client doesn't have time to really think about all the small things when they have busy days going in and out of meetings. Your sole responsibility is going to be to assure that your client has everything that he needs, and also for yourself. What am I looking at getting out of my EDC setup? Basically, what I'm trying to get out of my EDC setup is to make my life easier and make my days a lot easier. With having everything on hand, having a pen that works, a marker that is not dried out, something that's going to work. You're going to have to mark down a lot of things when you're helping people. Within this bag, in a different zip compartment, I've got a diary. Writing down everything that you're doing during the day, taking notes is going to be of most importance. Besides that, I've got a separate compartment here where I'll keep my radio, spare battery, and that runs everything from my communication system that I can kind of rely on my colleagues that when we're on the road, I'm going to have a look at probably staying in contact with my people, knowing where everybody's positioned. So that just kind of puts emphasis on having a small setup like this is really going to make your life a lot easier. It doesn't matter if you're in security or if you're in the private sector or if you're just a personal guy moving around a lot. Within this bag, you can carry your whole life, and your whole life is what you're going to rely on when you get into a situation you wish you had all these things in place. Especially when I'm looking at carrying concealed, especially if I'm an appendix carrier. I have a firearm that sits underneath within the section where I need to get to my firearm. It's not going to be a problem. It's not going to cause any sort of objection. It's not going to slow me down in any type of sense. Yeah, just a quick little breakdown on what I carry during the day. This is one of the varies that I carry during the day. I've got a couple different bag setups, but this by far is one of my favorite ones. So have a look at getting yourself something set up, something that's easy for you, something that's not going to be too heavy, that's going to make your life a little bit easier. I think a lot of people underestimate the value that something like this might have. Doesn't mean it has to be on you constantly, even just in your vehicle, knowing where all your equipment is. And it really goes back to the old saying, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. You'd rather be ready for any type of situation where you're going to know where all your equipment is and that everything works. Everything's in place, you've got spare of everything, and it just makes your life a little bit easier. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll tune in for a little bit of a longer video within the next few weeks and have our first sit down. Our first podcast is going to be live. Hit the share, hit the subscribe button, guys. Really exciting stuff ahead. Have a great day.